Hello, I am Math Man.
Hold on. Hey, David. Can you do it a little less? Okay, ready?
Hi, I am Math Man from the 90s, here to teach you how to work out mathematically.
Given a right triangle with the angle measure 48 for angle A and 90 for angle B, and line AB measures 16, we need to find the hypotenuse, line AC, line BC, and we need to find the measure of angle C as well. The first step is working with cosines. Now, cosine as a ratio is adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of 48 gives us 16, the adjacent, over x, the hypotenuse. Cosine of 48 is 0.67 equals 16 over x. Solve through that algebraically, and it will give you x equals 23.9. So our hypotenuse length, line AC, is 23.9. The next step is to find the measure of line BC. This gets a little bit easier. We don't have to work with cosine and all that. We can just do the reverse of the Pythagorean theorem. So 23.9 squared, our hypotenuse, minus 16 squared equals BC squared. It's just working with the Pythagorean theorem, and that will give us 17.75 when worked out algebraically. So the measure of side BC is 17.75. Our final step is finding the measure of angle C, which, as you are now seeing, is 42, because 180 minus 90 minus 48, which is measure of angle A, gives us 42 degrees. So now that we've solved all three sides and all three angles of the triangle, you now know how to solve right triangles given an angle and a side.
Can we try something lighter?
So given a triangle such as this one, where we have the measure of angle A is 95 degrees, we also have the measure of side AC is 22, the measure side BC is 31, we have to try to find side AB as well as the measures of angle B and C. So first thing that we need to do is to find the measure of angle B. We're going to do this using the law of sines. So the first step involved in the law of sines is to set it up as a ratio where sine 95, which is the measure of angle A, over 31, which is side A, has to equal sine of B, which we're trying to find, over 22, which is side B. First, we are going to multiply both sides by 22. We will get 22 times sine of 95 over 31 equals sine B. Now, once we get to this point, the only thing that we have left to do is take the inverse sine of whatever we get on the left, and we will come up with B. And after we've done that, we discover that B is equal to 45 degrees. The next thing to do is to subtract 95 and 45 from 180, because that is the total measure of the angles of the triangle, and we will come up with the fact that C is equal to 40 degrees. After that, we must begin working with the law of cosines in order to find our last side, and so that is displayed for you on the screen now. Once we substitute our values in, we will get 31 squared plus 22 squared minus 2 times 31 times 0.77 is 37.38, and that's the value of side C. And so our side C value is 37.38. If at any point you feel the need to stop, feel free to pause the video, copy down, and look up any information. Basically, all that I did for this section is I just took the law of cosines, substituted information. Capital letters indicate angles, while lowercase letters indicate sides. They are opposite from each other, so in this case, angle A is 95 degrees, and side A is 31 degrees. They are opposite from each other. So this information is substituted in, and since we're looking for side C, as it is opposite angle C, we just plugged all the numbers in, ran through the calculation, took the square root at the end, and came up with 37.38.